people of Anambra State, the entire southeast geopolitical zone, and indeed the rest of Nigeria, are still coming to terms with the passing last Thursday of a former governor and renowned administrator, Dr. Chukwuemeka Ezeife, at the age of 85. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has led the tributes, and a lot more words of appreciation have come from all parts of the country about the life and times of a man who is being remembered for his courage, activism, and personal sacrifices for the advancement of Nigeria. In line with the prevailing mood around this immense feeling of loss, we are now being joined by two worthy sons of Nigeria. Chief Dr. Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu, who is President General of Ohaneze Indigbo, and Professor Obiora Okonkwo, an intellectual of no mean repute and Chairman, United Nigeria Airlines. Good to have you both on the morning show. Good morning, sirs.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Morning.
And good morning, Areje Jemba. I salute you from Abuja.
Thank you very much. Good morning, sir.
Ndewo, thank you very much.
Good morning.
Prof. Ndewo, Prof. Ndewo.
And do accept our heartfelt condolences on the passing of Chief Chukwuemeka Ezeife, Dr. Ezeife, at the age of 85. We do sympathize with all the sons and daughters of Anambra State. My first question will go to Dr. Iwuanyanwu, if you allow me, sir. Just basically to...
Yes,
Yes, thank you, sir. Just basically to recall the position that Chief Ezeife held while he was still with us. Yes, he was the first governor of Anambra State, civilian governor in Anambra State. He was a presidential advisor. He was a permanent secretary before that. And of course, he also aspired to rule Nigeria as a president. What do you remember him for? And how do you think that the Nigerian government in particular and the Nigerian people in general should remember Dr. Chukwuemeka Ezeife?
Thank you very much. Indeed, the death of Chukwuemeka Ezeife is a source of great sorrow to every one of us, especially myself. I built a very strong personal relationship with him because we share so many things in common. Both of us believe in the unity of this country. Both of us believe in honesty and integrity as a very fundamental prerequisite for anybody who wants to qualify to serve a people. We believe that service is a duty which everybody needs to give to humanity. He is a very good person. I had the closest relationship with him when he was the governor of Anambra State. He was the first governor of Anambra State. At the time, I contested the election for presidency under NRC. He was a governor of Anambra State then under SDP, but he gave me a lot of support. We had option A4 at that time. He mobilized forces in Anambra State and ensured that I won with resounding success in Anambra State. We built a very strong relationship, and we were all together at all times, hand in glove, in services of our people, the Igbos, and our country, Nigeria. He put in everything he could, his time, his resources, his energy to serve people. He is a man who actually believes in justice, believes in equity. He fought for the right of Igbos, especially when he feels that the rights are being trampled for one thing or the other. Up till 3 weeks ago, he was in a meeting in my house. I saw him. He was not feeling very well. But in spite of his ill, because we had very critical issues about things pertaining to our people and in Nigeria. And of course, you have seen a lot of problem going on. He took a position with me and supported me in everything I did. As you know, on 30th of April 2023, I was sworn in at the Enugu Government House as the President General of Ezeife. That position confers on me the leadership of Igbos. Ezeife is one of those leaders who made sure that he made it to be very smooth, very easy, without any opposition. And he has given me support all through. I feel sad over his loss. I feel I've lost a brother, I've lost a friend, I've lost a patriotic nationalist. It's a very sad thing, but we pray God Almighty to accept it. So thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing that with us. This question is for you, Professor Obiora Okonkwo. I guess the question will apply to you as well. How would you like to remember Dr. Chukwuemeka Ezeife? What legacy do you think that he's left behind? It's a two-pronged question. And I'd also like for you to talk about some of the causes that he has championed, which includes, advocating for the release of the leader of the indigenous peoples of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, whose terrorism trial was ordered to continue by the Supreme Court last week. It was the eve of that ruling that Dr. Ezeife died. Senator Ehinaya Baribe, in paying tribute to him, said that it would have been a fitting gift to Dr. Ezeife if the Supreme Court had freed Kanu. First, what do you make of that judgment? And would you say that the judgment is a blight towards the advocacy for his release?
Thank you very much. Let me first of all acknowledge and agree 100% with everything our able and amiable President Johannes General has said about Dr. Ezeife. I share totally with all of that. It's a man who I could say was one of the fellows who brought me into commitment and dedication to this cause of our nation, because I've had opportunity to co-host, to co-convene, and to co-chair many groups in the past. Some of these groups had to do with Anambra affairs, with Igbo affairs, and then with groups that were supposed to interrelate with other parts of this nation. One of them in particular was what we called Anambra State Public Officers Forum in Abuja. It was an amalgamation of different prominent people here, from business, bureaucracy, technocrats, and that took about 10 years, which I hosted the meeting under my roof. I cannot remember Ezeife missing any of those meetings. Particularly was one occasion towards the election in Anambra in 2010, when we had called for prayer in the state. He was there. And from that group, we had what we called Anambra Good Governance Forum. He was the main convener, and I worked very closely with him. And I think in that process, I saw a genuine man who wanted to live an upright life, who was genuinely and selflessly working for the people. In one of the occasions, he called me to his house. I remember him, he would just call me Dokita, that's the name he would call me, and say, look, things are getting so bad in this country. And day in, day out, I have a whole lot of people coming to ask for one favor or the other. Yes, I do refer them to you, but how long will that last? Now, I took a note of poverty. I think I have to change that oath. Do you have any pastor who will break this oath for me? It was really an interesting discussion. I saw a man who was genuinely concerned about his determination to be of help to people. But since he was not living for money, It was becoming really very worrisome for him. But I was able to have a very good discussion, comforted him, and the decision we reached on that occasion is something that probably we'll not have to discuss here. But I think I left him satisfied that I was able to calm him down. So having seen all that in this man, I think also that part of those things have become what influence and motivate me in my commitment to things we do today. Yes, I agree totally with Senator Baribe that judgment of Friday would have been a great gift, parting gift for him. We didn't see his death coming. Here in Abuja, we set up a committee to prepare for his 85th birthday, which is supposed to be coming soon. The committee chaired by Barrister Iwuanyanwu, the chairman of Zeni Labour Party, and we're working together towards making his birthday a memorable one. Because we at the same time and collectively work for his 80th birthday when he launched a book. In that book, due to our relationship, I was one of those he contributed, that I contacted. I was privileged to contribute a chapter to the book he launched on his 80th birthday. So I enjoyed a very close relationship with him. As of judgment that was given, I think we believe it's not over yet. It's not the end of the matter. I have no doubt that pretty soon the right thing should be done and our brother Nnamdi Kanu will be free. So we really will miss Ezeife, who, His Excellency, who will not be there when we will be glorifying the name of God for the victory and the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Indeed, Anambra, in our own language, we would say that Okosisi has fallen. Okosisi Adago, that is, Aniroko 3 has fallen. That is what it is. But 85 years is not the oldest, but we thank God for the life he lived. You know, in him we saw a reflection, an alter ego of a really bold man. Resilience, you know, never say die, courage, and he has never been anybody who you see wanting when he has to call out anybody who has done anything wrong. But what do? We normally would say, we will not fight God, but we will only glorify him for the life he has lived. And for us who are behind, we are committed to make sure that the things he believes in and matters and causes he champion, we will continue to do that until our time comes.
Thank you, sir. Chief Iwuanyanwu, I wanted to ask if you also agree that the release of Nnamdi Kanu would have been a good gift for Mr. Ezeife. And I also want to ask, just, you know, in light of your earlier comments about, you know, fighting for Nigeria and loving Nigeria, like, do you also believe in this release of Nnamdi Kanu? Do you believe that the Supreme Court erred in their judgment?
Well, thank you very much. I, as a leader of Igbos, after consultation with my people, we all agreed that there was no reason why Nnamdi Kanu should be incarcerated, no reason why he should be detained. He didn't serve any risk. Rather, his release will help Nigeria, will help the security agencies to differentiate who is a criminal and who is a very honest and dedicated Nigerian. Because many criminals hide under the fact that Nnamdi Kanu is in detention and continue to unleash heinous crimes on our people in Southeast. As you have already noticed, some people stay outside Nigeria and from time to time mobilize armed robbers, arm the gunmen, and even declare sit at home. And of course, you know, our people are mercantile people, people who are commercial people. Most of the people live from day to day, from hand to mouth. And when these people are restrained from getting out to do their business, they suffer a lot of hardship. So we believe that if Nnamdi Kanu is released, it's going to be to make the job of security very easy. So we, all of us, cannot be saying that he should be released without a just cause. The whole of our people, the political class, religious class, all of them, and as a leader of Igbos, part of my mandate is to see that Nnamdi Kanu is released. And I have made the appeal to the president. I've even sought for appointment to meet the president with some leaders of Southeast. And the president has been very busy. I believe once he's free, he will invite us because he has been busy attending to so many international, national and international matters. He will see us because, no doubt, Southeast, the Igbos, we are part of Nigeria. We are committed to Nigeria. We believe in Nigeria. We have, over the years, made contributions to the building of Nigeria. So if we cry to our leader, the president, to say, this is our problem, I believe he will definitely listen to us. The Supreme Court judgment doesn't bother us because the Supreme Judge is supposed to interpret the law and carry out justice. That is, we actually didn't make the appeal to the Supreme Court. The appeal we made was to the president. Our president is His Excellency, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. That's the person we actually made I believe that our president will realize that if all Igbos are saying one thing, then there must be something in it. And besides, Nnamdi Kanu has openly renounced and that the activities of people who have been kidnapping, murdering, killing people in Southeast in the disguise of Nnamdi Kanu's detention. Nnamdi Kanu has cautioned that they should stop. He said it openly, and we know that. So that is why we are saying that it should be released. Because, you see, we don't want people to continue to commit crimes under the guise that Nnamdi Kanu is in detention. So I still believe that our president will yield to our request and release him, so that now we can now differentiate between those who actually were fighting for him and those who were just criminals. Thank you very much.
All right, Chief Iwuanyanwu, I'll stay with you quickly on the next question before, and I believe that Professor Okonkwo can also share his thoughts. Still on the Nnamdi Kanu question, my question to you, sir, Chief Iwuanyanwu, is there a new strategy other than the pleadings from the Igbo nation, from Ohanaeze Ndigbo to President Tinubu? Is there a new strategy that you think might work rather than the same old style? Given the fact that before Chief Ezeife died, before him, you know that also Chief Mbazulike Amechi also carried the same course with him till he passed on in November of last year at the ripe old age of 93. But he also couldn't get that one desire fulfilled, which was to release Nnamdi Kanu. Now that the Supreme Court has said that the trial should continue, are you nursing any apprehension that Nnamdi Kanu might lose the case at the court if that trial should proceed? Is that your fear, sir?
Frankly speaking, I'm not a lawyer. But you see, in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, there is no report of any act of terrorism. There is no report of any violence. He is just a young man who says he wants Biafra. He's just that is his own desire. And our constitution have clearly stated that people have a right to express their views. He has not taken any arms. He has not done anything to show that to show violence. So I think, frankly speaking, that the mere fact that Nnamdi Kanu said he wanted a Biafra, it doesn't mean that Igbos want Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu was probably a young boy when the war. Those of us who fought the war, those of us who experienced the war, we are warning the younger ones that that path is not an easy path. We have warned them, and the younger ones who are intelligent and reasonable will consult us. But the major point is that I, as a leader of Igbos, have taken the following steps. I have been in touch with the Pandev, the South-South group, and they support me. I have been in touch with the Afenifere, they support me. I have been in touch with the Middle Belt, they support me. Now, the whole of the Southern Nigeria and Middle Belt have all agreed. And in fact, a meeting was held in Abuja, in the home of our leader, in Abuja. And in fact, if the communique was released, the communique was endorsed by Pandev, by Ohaneze, by Afenifere, by Middle Belt. Because we don't see any danger in releasing Nnamdi Kanu. Instead, there is danger. We're losing lives, we're losing business, we're losing every opportunity by his staying there. So I believe that we also have so many people from other parts, many very reasonable people in the northern part, other parts have also said that Nnamdi Kanu should be released. It appears to me that majority of Nigerians, I have been able to convince majority of Nigerians to see that Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any offense that can put him incarcerated for such a long time. And then this incarceration is putting our whole civil population in Southeast in jeopardy. Their life is threatened, their business is threatened, everything is threatened. So that is why I believe our president can do it. Because you see, the president can do it. But if there is any act of terrorism that is linked with him, but we don't know of any. We don't know of any act of terrorism linked to him to say he's a terrorist. We haven't seen any. See, so that is the point. So I still believe that the appeal we are making is for the president. After all, the president has got a right, constitutional right, even if somebody is condemned to death, to give a reprieve and get the person relieved. So I don't see what is difficult. And the president, we support him. I promised the president, I have called the Igbos as their leader. And I want to tell you, Igbos unanimously told me to congratulate the president. And I congratulated the president. Yes, at first, we supported I must confess, we supported the P2B. We supported P2B. But for us today, Bola Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State. And when he was governor for 8 years, he was good to Igbos. He didn't there was no problem. We didn't have any problem with him. Some of us, like myself, when he was a governor, I visited him several times. And he treated me very polite, very well. So we have a good relationship with him. But the point is that we, from the zoning proceedings, felt that the presidency this time is our turn. That's why we supported Peter Obi. But today, in the party, APC have nominated Bola Tinubu in a very keenly contested primary. And it was announced he is the candidate for APC. Election was held, And the electoral body, the INEC, announced publicly that Tinubu won the election. People who went to court, to the tribunal. The tribunal have declared that he won, and besides, Tinubu had been sworn in. The moment he is sworn in to be president, he is the president of Nigeria. Nigeria cannot stay without leadership. He's our leader, he's our president. And even we have gone to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court said he is the president. So the truth about it is that Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, Igbos in all the various states in Nigeria have now accepted Tinubu as our president, and we have pledged, and I say that on behalf of my people, that we are going to give Tinubu every support, but we expect Tinubu to look at this problem we have. We expect him to solve this problem, which all of us are talking about. I mean, I have done everything I can to ensure that Nnamdi Kanu is released, because I believe it's going to be in the interest of my people. People know me in Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian who have served in many places. And for avoidance of doubt, I have been honored 3 times by Nigeria. I have a Farab due to my services to my country. I love Nigeria. I'm an engineer, a scientist. My colleagues have honored me several times. Nigerians respect me because they know my attributes. They know me. They know my antecedents. I cannot come to support anything I think is against Nigeria. That is why I am pleading still that in spite of the Supreme Court decision, the president can use his presidential power and release Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I have a question for Professor Okonkwo. Just staying on this topic of Nnamdi Kanu, if you're calling for his release before the conclusion of his trial. He's facing terrorism charges. Is it that you don't have faith in the Nigerian judicial system, or is it that you believe that he will be found guilty? Because under the law, he's still presumed innocent. He's just currently facing charges. So I wonder why there is a call for a release before he faces trial. Do you not have faith in the Nigerian judicial system?
No, that doesn't really imply that we don't have faith, but you can still be released, given bail while the trial is going on, and you can agree with me that that was the case before he was rearrested or moved back from Kenya. But again, the consolation there for me is that even in the Supreme Court judgment, they scolded the process that extradited him from Kenya to Nigeria. They frowned at the invasion of his house, and they were also wondering why they would have revoked his bail. So that action for bail doesn't necessarily mean that they may stop the process of judicial process of looking into his case. We still think that he's eligible for bail. He's not dangerous. And I can tell you, and probably use this medium for the first time to make public that this is a matter that I am very, very conversant with. Nnamdi Kanu himself, I'm in close touch with him. I have visited him a couple of times, even in this recent detention. And let me make it so for something he had asked me to do that I haven't done before. It was actually my visit to him and my discussion and conversation with him that led to that personal letter that he wrote. This is the first time I'm making that public, but he had to write that letter in direct answer to my question. Has anything changed in what you said you stand for? Because this is a young man who I think is fighting for what he believed in. And I made it clear to him that there's so much thing going outside there. And then some people are using your name and doing so many things in pretense that it's just for your release. Are you in support of this? If you are, tell me, because that's not where the Igbo people are. He said over and over and over again that that's not his direction. His process and procedure is peaceful one. I say, in that case, make it known to the people. That was actually what led to that letter that he wrote. I agree with our leader, Ahije Jemba, where we are Igbo people believe in the unity of this country. Personally, me, that is why I have an airline that is called United Nigeria. And my brother Alan has an airline that is called Air Peace. Look at those names. They send their message. And let me tell you also that over the last few days, you may have seen that we're in Kano, we're in Sokoto. And in one of my conversations with the Emir of Kano, and this is the message, because he insisted that I must extend his gratitude and greetings to Chief Iwuanyanwu. And they recalled that when his father was alive, his father had gone to Owerri, and the state government had provided him with everything he needed, house and everything, but he insisted and went straight to Iwuanyawu's house. And Iwuanyanwu cleared his personal bedroom, and his father slept in his house. It shows the closeness of these people. And that gives me a lot of admiration for these, our folks who had lived and worked for unity, had friends across the country, integrated very well. We believe in this, in the unity of this country. So I don't know where these people are coming from to try to destroy all these things. Where there is unity and peace is only where we have progress. So I really believe that Nnamdi has said in so many ways. His lawyer has written his opinion on this issue of killings. He is not a threat or a danger to anybody. We believe that his coming out will give us the needed peace and unity. But for us, judiciary will still have to do what they are doing. We believe in the judiciary, and at the end of the day, nobody has found him guilty. And as a matter of fact, the process that he's undergoing is a process that could still, if they want to go through the judiciary line, could take a couple of years, if depending. But however, he is eligible for bail. The court has not done that before, and they have. I believe that they will be able to do that again. Now the case is back to the Federal High Court. But I have no doubt also that Mr. President is a good listener. The men that are seeking for his action and the compassionate ground, I'm sure he will listen to them and will hearken to their voice, and at least act and take the necessary action. Again, it is at the liberty of the government to say, for interests of peace and unity, we are withdrawing this case. If they chose to toe that line, that will be awesome. And obviously for the gift that would have gone to Wazirika Amechi Ezeife, we will know that that now becomes a posthumous gift, because gift can be given, honor can be given while you're alive or while you are dead. So we're hoping that very soon action will be taken. But let me say it again. Nnamdi had pleaded to me. In fact, at some point after that visit, they had requested that I have a press conference to authenticate that letter that was coming from him. I felt it was not necessary. So I took my time to make sure that some of these moves are not like what is in the public domain. But for the emphasis and the interest and the commitment you have this morning, repeatedly asking of this question, I felt I will not be doing this question a justice by not letting you know that I am as much as involved in this like many other people, and reaffirming that time without number, I visited him, he had continued to commit to peace. Because we make it clear, if that's not the case, people like us will not be involved.
Yes.
And I can tell you that if anything happens, he may have learned his lessons, and his pronouncements and his actions subsequently, if he has the opportunity, will be something that will be probably a different direction.
I'm staying with you, Professor Okonkwo.
Well,
now,
I would like to add something, if I may. Can
absolutely,
I
please
make some comment on this, please, if I may? Yes, I want to commend my brother, Prof. He's quite a very, he's a man we respect so much. He's a brilliant young man. I'm very proud of him, and I endorse all his statements. Now, I also want to add that, you see, people should look at our plight in Southeast. People are being killed. The government security has not been able to cope with all this. We have been asking for restructuring. We think if we have a state police, this will be easy. You know, people are being killed. The government has the duty to protect our life and property. Our houses are being burnt. Everything's are going bad. So when we are saying Nnamdi Kanu should be released, yes, because first of all, we found that that we don't see any offense that could lead us to this position. And the worst situation is that government is unable to protect our people from the type of killings and everything. And you know, these are some of the problems the younger Igbos have. For example, Igbos are everywhere. Igbos are everywhere in the country, and of course, you know, Igbos are equally intelligent. At the moment, it appears there is a conspiracy, because we have seen in places, especially Abuja and Lagos, many Igbos, there is seeming hostility against Igbo business people. Some of them, their certificate of occupancies are either being delayed or cancelled. Some of them are being taxed arbitrarily, a lot of things. So there is a feeling. But this thing is unfair because Igbos are committed to one united Nigeria. My younger brother, Prof, the chairman of United Airlines, mentioned the case of the Emir of Canada, Obiora. It's a fact. Most of my friends are from the north, I'm from the west, I'm from other places. Most Igbos have got people. Question of secession, Igbos cannot be investing everything they have in all parts of this country and then talk of secession. I think we want the government to be fair to us. We want Nigerians to be fair to us. Igbos have made a lot of contribution. Nigeria needs foreign investment. Nigeria needs internal investment. Igbos are the people who, when they go to a place, they bring in foreign investment. They build businesses, they build schools, they build hospitals. They make money definitely in those places. But Igbos are patriotic, very patriotic. They don't carry this money home to Igbo land to develop. Some other people will make money in somebody's land and carry it to their place to develop. That is why people say, go and develop your place. You see, it's just, Igbos have a proverb which our parents taught us. Ebonye bi, kone shawashi. That is wherever you live, is where you develop. It's in our culture. Our parents told us. So whatever Igbos are doing, if Igbos come to a place like Abuja or Lagos or anywhere outside Igbo land and invest and develop, is part of culture, because we believe that we are one united Nigeria. But now people are saying, go and develop your place. If a foreigner brings money today to Nigeria, the next day he would like to repatriate it, and that brings pressure on our currency. But Igbos, when they go to these places, they invest in every community, they improve the IGR of the state, they improve the GDP, they improve everything. They improve the environment, they develop the place. So I think really that people who think that for people to say secession, that Igbos are seceding, I mean, it doesn't look fair, because the structure, the investment doesn't show people who want to secede.
Yes.
So I want Nigerians to look at it and help us. And this matter of Nnamdi Kanu is very critical, because you see, Nnamdi Kanu's continued here. Even some of these people are now using that as an excuse now to launch an attack. They even accuse some leaders that leaders have colluded with the federal government to keep Nnamdi Kanu. They tell lies. They tell lies to people, and then the ignorant masses believe them, because these people are just parasites who prey on ignorance of people in order to inflict injury and harm on the society. So we believe, frankly speaking, that all Nigerians should join. Well, Igbos are prepared to join to salvage Nigeria from the present economic situation. I have discussed the situation in Nigeria with Igbos. Let me tell you, what is happening today can be solved. We have discussed it in a meeting, and I intend at the next meeting of Southwest and Middle Belt to bring our proposals. We want that even Arewa and Northern elders should join us. If all of us come together, we are going to come together and we are going to provide a solution to the president of Nigeria. I'm working on it. Yeah. So we are not just sitting down. We are planning and working how to solve it, because there is a problem today on the economy. Yes, the president have taken decision to remove subsidy. Everybody knows it's a very sound economic decision. He has taken decision on the foreign currency. Is a good decision. So, but the blast, the fallout is hurting everybody. We in Ohaneze, we have set a committee that is working on it, and we are going to report the outcome of their report to the Southern and Middle Belt, and we will insist that there should be a meeting of all the ethnic nationalities, which will include now Arewa and the Northern elders. When we meet, we will be able to fashion out a solution and support the government. And we are appealing to all Nigerians to be patient, because there is nobody who was a president who will not have the same problem Bola Tinubu is having. The problem today in the mind of Ohaneze is not a thing caused by anybody. It's a generic problem that has come due to events in the country. And that is why we are a people doing all this cannot be accused of leaving the country, cannot be accused of secession, cannot be accused of not being faithful to Nigeria. So, and when we have problem and cry, Nigeria should listen to us. It will pain us if we talk about our problem and it's not solved, especially when it is clear and everybody identifies it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Iwuanyanwu, for that submission. And I like that you brought up the case of secession. And, you know, I'd like to also thank Dr. Obiora for that letter that he shared from Nnamdi Kanu, saying that he's committed to peace. And I also like the fact that you brought up the idea of unifying Nigeria. But you know that the federal government will argue that secession is against the Constitution. The government says that Kanu's case borders on national security, citing the case of FRN versus Dokubo, where the Supreme Court held that where national security is threatened or likelihood of it being threatened, human rights take secondary place. I mean, this is an answer. I mean, I would like for both of you to talk about that. This is the answer why they say they are holding him. They say releasing him from detention would worsen the security situation in the Southeast. I'd like your thoughts. Do you agree on his cause for secession, Dr. Obiora Okonkwo? Because I can hear Dr. Iwuanyanwu saying that he's against secession.
Definitely no. That is why I had said earlier that we believe in unity of this country, but it has to be unity and togetherness where there is justice and equity. And I can tell you, beyond all the shenanigans or beyond all the legal words, what Nnamdi Kanu stands for is just justice and equity. He has said that to me, and they have said that over and over again. So I do not really think that anybody should be worried about the secession. At whatever reason, for whatever reason, government has put that in. I mean, a case in court, you must have to have a defense. But let me make it clear. It's for justice and its equity. And it is obvious to us that these things are not only worrying Nnamdi Kanu. We're all concerned. I have presented so many papers on this matter. I have written a paper I presented in Nsukka in 2018, and then believing that we must have to be one, manage our diversity, convert it into advantage, but that can only be achieved where there is equity and justice. Without equity and justice, keeping Nnamdi Kanu in the prison, even if Nnamdi Kanu is gone, there will be people who are still alive who will continue the agitation. And there's nothing wrong for anybody to say, let there be peace, equity, and justice. We don't know. I believe in that. There is no equity, there is no fairness. Everything is all muddled up, and some people are just thinking that all for me, myself, and I. You can't just do that. Even in your private homes, even in your family, even in your immediate communities, when there is such a situation, you should expect people to rise up and say, hey, this is not fair. That fairness is just what Nnamdi believes. That's what I believe in. But people might be expressing their own dissatisfaction in different ways. So I really think that even Ohaneze Ndigbo is fighting for that. All the other groups in the socio-cultural groups in Nigeria are all clamoring for equity and justice. We don't have that. And it's not just starting from the life, even there have been agitators in the past, even during before Nnamdi Kanu was born. So after him, until this is realized, there will still be people who will be contesting this. So I think let this government not only just listen to the call for Nnamdi release, but look at the genuine issues, the issues that led to this agitation, address them, and then we will have. It will be good. It will be for the good of everybody. So I really think that I've been around. Like I said, I was in Sokoto, I was in Kano, and and you see, Igbo people are living in peace with each community where they are found. And I don't see anybody who, most people I met with, they are only asking me, how will you help us with aircraft to go to the east within this period? And that's just to visit. There's none of them who is thinking of relocating from where they are. So I really think that we want to be part of this country. I believe in the unity of this country. Our diversity must be our strength, but we have to manage it well. Until that is done, whatever peace you think you have is peace of the graveyard, and we must avoid that. I want to believe that our president will take this as part of his legacy and the things he'll be remembered for, that he's able to address issues of concern to all sectors of this country. And then it will be something that history will remember him well for, if he will listen and address it. So let's go beyond the agitation. Let's look at the main issue, start addressing them. And thank God, our leaders, led by Ebu President of Ohaneze, Chief Iwuanyanwu, they are open, they are ready to discuss. And then, if there are other things that need to be shaped up, they are ready to do that. And then this zonal relationship with the other socio-cultural groups, they should take advantage of that and use them. Everything is not politics. Some of these things can not only be discussed around political table or by political office holders. There are just very few compared to other people who are out there. I think that the government should utilize them pretty much to harmonize this country and then and give everybody the necessary sense of belonging. That's the only way we can optimize our potentials and opportunity. Thank you very much.
All right. Professor Obiora Okonkwo, Dr. Iwuanyanwu, would like to thank you both for joining us on the morning show and helping us pay tribute to Dr. Ezeife. Professor Obiora said Okosisi has fallen. I hope that that committee that was set up to celebrate his 85th birthday will move on to celebrate his life and times. We'd like to thank you both very much for joining us on the morning show.